Hey YouTube, Yukin Shinobi here with a review of the S.H.Figuarts Kamen Rider Ryuki Survive from Kamen Rider Ryuki, obviously. So just like Knight, he's got a red box instead of a blue box with a picture of Ryuki Survive right here, and nice gold lettering because that's cool. On the side, on the back, Survive, Shoot, Vent, Add Vent, Stand, Hooray. So very cool. I don't like this as much as Knight Survive, but he is a absolutely fantastic figure. Spoiler alert. Fantastic figure approaching. And yes, I said approaching, not approaching, but deal with it. Very, very sharp looking figure. I do worry about these antennas. I always worry about Figuart antennas, but hopefully he doesn't fall from great heights. Ryuki's design is really weird to me. I like Knight's better because it actually looks like a knight, whereas Ryuki still has the Kamen Rider bug eyes going on. And it just looks weird and conflicting when you put them against the knight helmet-looking thing. So that's always kind of weird to me. But the red used in this is so phenomenally gorgeous that I can't help but adore this figure. I have no joint problems whatsoever. The waist area and chest area here is a little bit loose, but it's not like going to topple over or anything. It's just very easy to move. Back here, the red is just, you can see the way that it catches the light here. It just looks so good. Very much like the blue of Knight Survive, just with red here. The gold used is just as vibrant. The silver, they're such terrific accents colors for this level of red. And the gloss that this red has compared to like the matte of the golds and silvers, they complement each other so well that this figure just looks great on display no matter what kind of pose he's in. He can just be standing there and he looks sweet. Articulation-wise, you've got all the main points of articulation up here at the head. The same shoulders that all of the Ryuki riders are using, so you've got full motion there. These shoulder pads are on like through two joints, right there and right there, so you can swivel them out of the way should you need to. You can kind of position them up a little bit, fray them out a little bit, so whatever you need to do with that shoulder pad, you're pretty much capable of doing to get it out of the way of the shoulder. Double joint right there at the elbow, obviously the typical wrist joint that you got going on. Like I said, easy to move, full rotation there at the chest. The Advent deck does come right out. I love this hip system for the Ryuki figures. It hides the joint well, and it stays together great. I really wish they would just use this joint for all rider Figuarts, because it's really like the best joint that they've made for the hips. Swivel right there at the thigh, double joint, and then the die-cast foot system that they got going on down there, plus the toe action. So, standard Figuarts articulation, standard Ryuki base model for this figure. Just, it looks so good that if you're a fan of this design at all, this is a must-own. Because it's so good. That's all I can say for things like this. Okay, it comes with 11 hands. You've got so many different hands. You've got, I think, card holding hand. You've got Dragvisor Zwei holding hands. And for the record, in Knight Survive, I did know it was Zwei. I was just saying it Zwei because I'm stupid. I know it is German for two. Yeah, whatever these hands are, more holding hands. I know it is German for two. I am well aware of how to count in multiple languages. I just said it wrong, and that's fine. I don't see what the big deal is, but yeah, whatever. Gropey hands, because everyone needs gropey hands, and then more holding hands. You've got a lot of holding hands for this thing. This one is for pulling back the lever of the Dragvisor Zwei, because he pulls it back and then puts the card in, and this one's for, I don't know. There's so many friggin' hands with this thing. To top it off, he comes with two hands for Ryuki. One to hold the Dragvisor Zwei, and the other one just to look cool, I guess. So you got that. You've got a good amount of Advent cards here. I forgot the total. I think it was 9 Advent cards altogether. Basically everything Ryuki Survive ever used is in this pouch. I wrote them down in the description, so if you want to take a look at what's in here, you can go ahead and do that. A cap so the Dragvisor Zwei can go on the belt. Sword vent attachment for the Dragvisor Zwei, and of course, Ticklecock himself, the Dragvisor Zwei. So, yeah, this opens up. You can stick a card in there. The mouth opens up. Cards go in there. Cards go everywhere. The fact that they actually engineered this pullback and insert gimmick for this is kind of neat. So I do appreciate that. But just real quick here on the Dragvisor Zwei, it just looks really neat. It's one of those weapons that actually is very cool. So I have to give credit where credit's due for that. To top it off, you get a Ryuki Survive Tamashii Stage shaped like the Advent deck, just like all of the other past releases that we've gotten through the exclusive web shop or retail. But every Ryuki released so far has a stand available in some fashion. So very cool. I love the red used. Absolutely gorgeous. So here's an example of the Dragvisor Zwei on Ryuki Survive's belt. Just so you can get an idea of what that looks like. I'm really glad that they decided to do that, just because it gives you more display options, and it actually does look pretty cool on there. So Ryuki Survive is just one of those figures that has so little flaws that it can't help but be a recommendation if you're a fan of Ryuki. I mean, the biggest thing about the figure is the shoulder pads, and the fact that those can maneuver so much to even get a pose like this, where the shoulder pads are virtually overlapping each other. It's just great in engineering, and it not only looks good still, but it is capable of doing all these things. And when you just have a figure like that, it's hard to figure out any sort of flaws with this thing, because personally, I can't find any. Ryuki Survive is just a great figure that should be added to any Figuarts collection. If you are a fan of Ryuki, if you're a fan of Dragonite, then by all means pick up this figure. It's fairly easy to get being a retail release. The retail release ones don't usually get too high in the aftermarket for Ryuki. The exclusives do, the retail releases don't. So it should be fairly easy to come across. The red is gorgeous, the accessory count is huge, the Tamashii Stage included looks great as well. So all in all, I just can't help but recommend this figure. If it wasn't for Night Survive being a favored design of mine, Ryuki Survive here could easily been a contender for Figuart of the Year for 2012. Just absolutely fantastic release that I can't help but recommend to any Ryuki or Dragonite fan. Just a simply gorgeous figure. So you can check out shukinshobi.com for latest updates on my reviews and hauls, and of course check out ridersrangedrembles.com, the podcast bringing the latest token news in the craziest way possible. And of course you can buy this guy and more S.H.Figuarts at cstoysjapan.com. So take care and have a great one. Bye.